Hi guys, I'm Dean and welcome back to another edition of The Inebriologist. So, this week, very excited to try this beer. It's been quite a long time since I've had it. I think the last time I had this beer, I think I was in Belgium, and that was probably about a year ago, year and a half ago, I think, something like that. Actually no, it was probably about a year ago, I think it was. So yeah, close to a year ago. But yeah, it's one of the best beers I've ever had in the world. It's up there with, you know, the beer that my very first beer I reviewed, which was the Trappist Rochefort 10. So it's on par with that. Maybe even pushes it a little bit further than that again. But yeah, it's a cracking beer. So the beer I'm going to reveal to you is the Black Albert by Struise Brouwers. Really lovely artwork on the bottle, and just to mention it to you there as well, if you can see that. I don't want to turn it to the side because all the sediment and everything will end up going in the glass, but it is a 2016 vintage edition of Black Albert. Yeah, so it's Black Albert by Struise Brouwers. I think it was a few months ago, I did try a Struise Brouwers beer. Well, I reviewed a Struise Brouwers beer, which was the Rio Reserva, and that was really, really nice as well. And I didn't realise until when it said on the bottle, when I was looking through it, and it was a 2012 vintage, so it was great to try a beer which was, 6 years old, you know, which had been barrel aged, I think in wine barrels, I think it was. Bourbon casks, and the flavour on it was unbelievable. But yeah, with the Black Albert, this is actually barrel aged, I think, for a bit. Actually, no, this isn't barrel aged. It's a beer which is like sort of their base beer. It's their base Imperial Stout that they do, and they use this Black Albert for a lot of other beer recipes, I think, or they use it for a lot of other sort of Imperial Stouts. And they use this base beer to basically barrel age, depending on the casks that they have, because I know they've had many different types of stouts which have been barrel aged. So I know they do like Bordeaux wine barrels, bourbon barrels, they use Scotch whiskey barrels, and port barrels as well. So the flavours you can get off them after they've been aged for a year is incredible. Yeah, really looking forward to this. So as it says on this, I'll read the description on it now anyway. So this is Belgian Royal Stout, comes with a full-bodied Struise character. Even with all these extreme values, Black Albert stays an elegant and well-balanced Royal Stout. So it's kind of like their version of an Imperial Stout, but they've called it a Belgian Royal Stout. And to the ABV enthusiasts out there, this is coming in at a whopping 13% ABV. So it's a hefty beer, it's quite a hefty beer. You know, this is the type of beer where you could have one or two of them and then that's it. You know, you couldn't sort of session this or anything like that. You know, it's just it's just too much. But yeah, this is a great beer that I've had before. And as I said, it was about a year ago I think I had it, so it'd be nice to get reacquainted with the flavours again, you know. So time to crack open and put into a glass, I think. Oh, I can smell that already. It's going to be good. And I have to use my obligatory Struise glass, Teku glass, which I do love. It's such a nice looking glass. I think it really does make a difference, like with the glasses that you do use specifically for different beers. I think it really does make a massive difference. Because they're kind of made in a specific way that really does sort of accentuate and brings out the best in the particular beers that you're drinking, you know. Again, science. Yeah, but this is going to be I know it's going to be a cracking beer anyway, so so it's starting to foam, so I better pour it out now. So right, here we go. Oh dear, carbonation. Oh Jesus, right. I'm going to leave it like that for a bit because the carbonation's just absolutely wild on it. But yeah, look at the colour on the head and that's really dark. It's just unbelievable. It's such a really dark sort of tan colour, again with the carbonation that was in there. Yeah, basically it's about a three finger sort of head, and you can see slightly on the bottom when you get to where the liquid is. It's a bit more darker around there again, just a bit more like sort of going to a brown colour. Yeah, but the actual liquid itself is jet black. There's nothing going through that at all. Looking up to the light up over there as well, nothing at all going through that. I can't see any speck of light going through there. That is as jet black as tar that they put on the roads to resurface tarmac. You know, it's a good way to describe it, I suppose. So I'll try and see if I can get an aroma going. Unbelievable smell. Unbelievable. To anyone out there who's never tried this beer before, just try it. You know, even if you're not a massive fan of stouts, it's just worth trying. It's kind of beyond, I'd say it's a different category again from what a stout is, you know. Some stouts are quite sort of really full-bodied and stuff, but then the flavours are not exactly right. You know, with something like this, is because it is an Imperial stout, so it's going to be strong. But yeah, I sort of encourage people to try something like this, you know, just to get an idea of like the level of flavours you can get in there, which is unbelievable. But from smelling this anyway, I don't know where to start on that. Really rich sort of maple, coffee, dark chocolate, like really bitter sort of chocolate. Really boozy, but it's expected from a beer like this, you know, 13%. It is going to smell boozy. Really raisiny, like a fruitcake type thing again, you know, going back to what I've mentioned with other beers before being like a fruitcake in a glass. It's kind of like this as well. Sort of molasses, really thick black treacle sort of smell, candied sugar sort of reduction, but it's just been left to sort of just to get sort of concentrated in flavour, you know, if it's been on the hob cooking for a while or something like that, you know. It's unbelievable smell. Yeah, so I can't wait to try this again. Cheers everybody, Iechyd. Oh, heaven in a glass. That is heaven. The flavours you can get from that is just absolutely unbelievable. First little bit I took of that, yeah, get that sort of really strong espresso coffee hit. That was the first thing that comes through. Then you got the sweetness, as I said, with the maple syrup on the smell. So you got that candied sugar maple syrup thing coming through as well. It is a full-bodied beer as well, but it's not to the extent where it's sort of really sort of stupidly sticky. It sort of covers the inside of the mouth, but it's not to the point where it's really sort of overwhelming. I can taste the chocolate, the dense sort of bitter chocolate on the back end, as well as, you know, as like those sort of fruitcakey, raisiny, almost like plum bitterness in the background as well. And then obviously 13% beer, the alcohol hit really does come down. You can really feel it. Even though there's a big alcohol presence in it and everything else, all the other flavours are going on, it does taste like a sort of slightly creamy beer. This does really coat the glass as well, as I sort of swill it round. Yeah, it does sort of coat the glass a bit, but unbelievable beer, really good. Yeah, this beer is one of my all-time favourite beers. It's very good. Quite a chewy beer, but absolutely gorgeous. So the score I'm going to give for this beer this week is a 4.5 out of 5. So 4.5 out of 5, just because it's just such an exceptional beer. Again, you know, I know I've just said this is an absolutely amazing beer. It's one of my all-time favourite beers. But, you know, I wouldn't score a beer 5 out of 5 because there's no such thing as a 5 out of 5 beer. You know, you can get close to it, but there's no such thing as a perfect beer. If there was such thing as a perfect beer, then, you know, life wouldn't be worth living anymore, should we say. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to more beer videos, and I shall certainly see you again soon. Iechyd.